Hello, Aries. It's Olivia from Das Tarot. I'm here to do the second week of February reading for you. That's going to be for the 31st through the 27th. So let's go ahead and get started and see what we have for Aries. I hope you guys are all doing all right. You saw that flip, right? This looks to me like Aries has you have your guard up, but I know that you're probably doing it for a purpose. I don't know who it's about. This is like in your heart, you know that you need to do this. This is something about blocking opposition off from you. People that don't believe in you or don't believe in what you're doing. When I see this circle around this, it almost makes me think of one of those magic, what are they called again? Oh my gosh, I have a hard time with that name. A crystal ball. You know what I mean? I've seen some tarot readers, they have a crystal ball. And it doesn't look like this person is in like a crystal ball. It's like saying, leave me alone. I'm meditating. Stay away from me with that negative energy. That's what it feels like. That's interesting. All right, let's keep going. So this is you and your person over here. Oh, the Knight of Cups in reverse. Somebody's trying to come into your life that wants to offer you love. Maybe even a proposal. But I have no doubt in my mind that this is what you're blocking. You're not interested in any new beginnings with probably anybody. I don't know why, but I have a feeling there's somebody's in your heart already, and you're not interested in anything new. That's the way I see it. I hope you guys can see that, okay? That's interesting. I know these cards are little, but they're really nice. I like them. So that's why you're blocking. and you may be blocking more than one thing. It might be many suitors, or it might be family, friends, and suitors. Who's to say? Now the King of Pentacles. Now this is somebody in reverse. This is somebody that can become very greedy with their money. They don't like to share. They might be hoarding it in some way. It also does talk about possibly losing money. Maybe lack of work. Oh my gosh, sorry about that, you guys. This is also somebody that is selfish. They don't think about other people when they're in the reverse. It's like it's all about them. That's their negative aspects. In the upright, they're totally the opposite. So it could have been somebody that was an earth sign, or it could be a water sign. And maybe this is something different altogether. Let's keep going. The Wheel. There may be two suitors. There may very well be two suitors. And you are balanced. You know what you do not want. You may actually be on a spiritual path. And in your heart and soul, because the wands represent the souls, and the chakra that's lit in the middle of this person's chest is telling me that this is possibly turning away other people, period, possibly. If you're on a spiritual path, sometimes these are just distractions or tests. It's like the divine is testing you to see if you truly are committed to your spiritual path. That's what it feels like. And the reason why I say it like that is whenever we do something that is on the right path, that is divinely guided, you will get the Wheel of Fortune. And this is telling me that you're on the right path. You're breaking through your karmic stuff and you're working on it, and you're almost at the point where you will probably be getting the world pretty quick. It's hard when you're on a spiritual path to block and reject people. But sometimes in your heart, you know what you need to do. You know what's best for you. Because sometimes this might, like I said, these are maybe negatives or distractions. I think that's beautiful. Oh, I love that. It's like you were rewarded by the divine. Now, the Wheel of Fortune, before I go any further, this is telling me that there's been a chapter in your life that you're closing. And this is telling me that at this point in your life, you're not really interested in dating or seeing other people. And it's probably because you are on your spiritual path. And this also tells me there was some kind of karmic situation that you did close out and you did the right thing. I know sometimes I sound like I'm so cold when I say stuff like that because I know what it feels like. But it's like, that's just the way it is. You're either on board with the divine or you're not. And during this time and day that we're in now, it's like I can see where people would want to be with somebody like you. It could be that these people want to be with somebody like you, but you're not even at that stage in your spiritual path that you're strong enough to take on people without getting addicted, or not addicted, but involved emotionally. Do you know what I'm saying? That's interesting. And then your person or situation. Oh, didn't I just say you'll probably get the world? Well, it is in reverse. There's something that you need to complete as a life. It needs to be a life completion. It's kind of like, this is like a chapter in a book, and this is the book. Do you see what I'm saying? This is a major, major change. And it also deals with karmic in the reverse. There's something that's very karmic here that needs to be closed as well. That's interesting. They did come in back to back. I didn't shuffle. I usually shuffle at the beginning. I just poof. Interesting. Okay. This may all be about you, Aries, especially if you are blocking and there's no one. This could just be your energy, which makes sense to me. You are using your intuition. This is good. You're listening to your intuition. When something like this comes calling, or however they communicate with you, you're using your gut instinct to tell you that no, I don't feel right with that. No, I don't feel right with that one either. It goes against the grain. It goes against my spiritual belief. I'm not interested. And it's almost, if this is the High Priestess, it almost looks to me like she's getting that information directly from the divine. And if you're on a spiritual path, this is the way it works. You talk to the divine before you make a decision. You will get an answer. You have to be prepared to get that answer, though. Don't let it just slip away in the middle of the night and not get up and write it down. Because I've done that before, too. I said, God, well, that was such a beautiful thing. Why didn't I write it down? You know what I'm saying? You are probably the empress of your own world. You're probably the person that makes your world turn. It could. I see this as feminine. And these are masculines. It almost feels like this is a feminine, and masculines were after. They want your shine is what they want, but you're not ready yet to show them the way. You're still in progress is what I feel, especially with the world in reverse. Judgment. Oh, man. So the divine is calling you to take a time out and look at your past. There's something in your past is why the world's not turning for you, but you are on board. You are definitely walking the path. And with judgment here, this is like the divine is saying, you're here for an awakening, but you need to be able to look at something in your past that you're overlooking that you haven't cleared yet. And it might be something from way back in your youth. Or it could be something you might have blocked in your mind because it was too harsh and you don't want to deal with it. If that's the case, I know that's hard, and I know my words sound like they're just words, but the best thing to do is to sit in quiet and try to see what it is that you're forgetting about or ignoring or not wanting to deal with too. It could be that you know what it is and it's just too harsh to go back and think about it. It doesn't mean you have to relive everything. It just means you need to acknowledge it and recognize how it made you feel, and then release it to the divine. The Four of Wands. There's not going to be the Four of Wands talks about a celebration, a union between two people, weddings, birthdays, any kind of celebration. But with it being on the board, that tells me this is going to come true. But there's one thing that you're needing to take care of, and right now I see that it's this judgment. Once this judgment is made, you will be back on your spiritual path, and you'll be able to continue the way that you want to live. And nobody will be able to stop you. But I do feel like there may be some people in your life that you feel like you want to help. Because, sometimes, let's say you're an older person and you've got children of your own that are grown, and you want to be able to bring them with you on your spiritual path, but you just can't do that. You still have to, you can only talk to them and encourage them to do their own thing, because we all have free will and they may not want to. And you might just have to accept that. And the last card. Yes. This is the problem right here. This particular card, if you'll look at it, this one up here looks like it's a pentacle. They both have the pentacle emblem on them. I know you won't be able to see it really good, but to me this is the spiritual path and this is the earthly bound path. And I think this is you telling yourself that you're still struggling between the two. Do you stay on the earthly plane, or do you decide to give yourself completely to the spiritual realm? You need to make that decision, and that could be also part of this world not turning and this. It's almost like you're being torn between being on a spiritual path and being drawn in by earth stuff. Things that you've probably already experienced in your life, and you don't want to go back to that. You want to stay on your spiritual path, but I bet there's some kind of, this could be family. And to me, that would be the only real deep draw, unless it's somebody that you really want to be with and you love them, but you're just not able to do it because, it's hard. It's a hard decision. That's why the divine is calling this time out, because they want you to remember something from the past that may help you eliminate this energy, or at least stay on your spiritual path. Don't let anything interfere. I don't feel like I need to clarify anything here. Let's see what's on the bottom of the deck. The Emperor in reverse. This could be what happens to you if you get distracted. This energy is somebody that is losing control of what they had thought they wanted to do. It could be somebody that's dropped their boundaries, because we get weak when it comes, if it's a love connection, we get weak when people come into our lives. It can be anything. But this is telling me that when the Emperor is in reverse, he becomes also very controlling, and he wants to dictate what is done. And you can't dictate to those that want to come into your life and win them over. It don't work. It just doesn't work. They'll see that negativity. And it's because in your deep heart and your true self, you want to just block all of it out and continue what you're doing. If you get to a place in your life where you can be just in the spiritual realm and not have to worry about the earthly realm, then you'll figure out a way to communicate. But right now you're not balanced. It's almost like earth is pulling you and spirit's pulling you. It's like a tug of war. I'm gonna get an energy card. Community. This talks about, it's a lot like, it's kind of like the Four of Wands, but it's also like the Three of Cups. And it tells me that there are people out there that are similar to you that may even be in the same spiritual energy that you're in. And that's the kind of people that you need to hang with. It'd be like finding your tribe. The people that are similar to you, they have the same belief system. They believe in the same spiritual path, which to me makes more sense. I think this is beautiful. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be all women, but it depends on yourself. Each of you have your own choice in that. But it looks to me like this is a spiritual card saying that they're coming together to be able to support one another, to not let the other one get weak because somebody comes in their life testing them, and the divine is seeing if you're going to pull away from your spiritual and go to something that's earthbound. Okay, I think I repeated myself many times, sorry. But anyway, it's an absolutely beautiful reading. Absolutely beautiful. I'll see you during the month. Until then, namaste.